Disclaimer: Chaz's Sound Test is a non-profit podcast. I don't own any of the music on this show. It's just for fun. I just want to share my love of music, specifically video game music, with all of you guys. Please like, subscribe, don't flag, enjoy the show. Deuces. Welcome, everyone, to episode 11 of the Sound Test podcast, the video game music appreciation podcast. And as usual, it's been about a month or two since I've last done an episode because things have been going on, as usual. But I have a theme going on this week, once again. Not this week, but this episode. This episode, we're going to talk about chill music in video games. That's stuff you can just, like, vibe out to. You know, I hate using that expression because it's so overdone these days, but that's the theme. Let's talk about what's been going on with me for a little bit. Classes have been happening. A few games came out. I'm still playing some games. Like, I'm still playing the Secret of Mana remake right now. I'm almost done. At least I hope I'm almost done, because I've never actually played the original, so I don't know how close I am to the end, but I feel like I'm close to the end. But I'm ready to get that done. Not to say that I don't like it, but I've been playing it on and off for a while. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze got re-released on the Switch recently, so playing a little bit of that. I'm probably gonna play a little bit of that more like tonight after I finish recording this. But that's fun, and I'm glad that got ported because that was probably one of the best games on the Wii U. It's undoubtedly the best platformer on the Wii U, for sure. No offense to anyone who liked Super Mario 3D World. That game was alright, but Tropical Freeze kicked the crap out of that game, like, as far as, like, the overall quality, in my opinion, anyway. I mean, there are two different types of platformers. One's a 3D platformer, and the other one's a 2.5D, 2.5D platformer, but whatever. What else? I saw Avengers Infinity War. Sorry for spoilers, but the movie's been out for about 3 weeks now. I'll talk about it spoiler free, I guess. It was really well done, well written, very depressing, which is just kind of a first for Disney Marvel movies. Thor was really well portrayed in the movie. I forget the name of the guy who played him in that movie, but he knocked it out of the park. He was really really good. That's about it. All I can think of right now. We'll talk about some more things that have been coming up. For example, Nintendo recently announced their online service today. Well, it's basically their equivalent to Xbox Live or PSN, where you have to pay a monthly fee in order to get the good stuff. So, but let's start with some music first. I'm gonna play. Let's see. Let's play 2 tracks. I'm gonna play the credits music from Street Fighter EX 2 Plus. I hate saying that whole title. And I'm gonna play a song also followed by a track from Final Fantasy VII. The Final Fantasy VII has a lot of relaxing songs in it, but like one specifically is from the Parochial. Oh god, I can't pronounce this word. I'm an English major and I feel like an idiot because I can't pronounce this word. In fact, we're gonna look it up right now how to pronounce this word. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm doing this live, ladies and gentlemen. This is happening. I'm gonna do this right now. There's a word in this title of this Final Fantasy VII song that I can't pronounce. And I feel like I'm a moron because I can't pronounce it.
Parochial.
Parochial town. Which definition is an adjective, is of or relating to a church parish. Okay, like a council. Got it. I learned something today. And maybe like 2.5 of you did too. So I'm going to play the staff roll from Street Fighter EX2 Plus, and followed by the Parochial Town music theme from Final Fantasy VII. Right here, right now. Okay, I had more of a chance to look at these, the subscription base and all this other, pretty much all the information about Nintendo Switch's online service going on here. It's gonna have, well, we're gonna need to pay for this in order to play online, obviously. And it even says on the website, battle it out cooperative with players around the world with world in compatible games like Splatoon 2, ARMS, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Tennis Aces, and Sushi Striker, which I forgot was a game that existed. Um, Here's the most interesting aspect of it to me is that you'll have a select amount of games. Well, let me preface this first. This morning Nintendo announced that they're not bringing the virtual console over to the Switch. Big surprise, big deal. Who honestly, who cares? At this point, it's like there's so many collections and so many uh, retro throwback. Like I said, like classic consoles coming out. Like you don't really need the virtual console anymore. It's kind. I mean, I appreciated the fact that it was around for so long on the previous Nintendo platforms, like for the Wii and the Wii U. But it's at the same time, I was like, I don't really want to have to pay for Mario 3 again. You know, as much as I love that game, I think it's one of the best games ever made. But I don't want to pay for that again. I don't want to have to rebuy it again. Like same thing with like all the GBA games and the other SNES games and NES games. I don't have to buy them all over again. But with the Switch, they're doing something different with their online service. They have this thing where they'll add like a certain amount of games for one console that'll be available at like I guess per month. I don't know. I'm not sure how they're gonna do this. Maybe they'll talk about it at E3. But uh, well, for right now, you can play up to when it launches in September, you'll be able to play 20 NES games on via the service. So it's kind of like Netflix in that aspect, but it's Netflix for retro games, I guess. The games they announced were they haven't announced all the games yet, but there's 20 that they're speculating they're going to announce like soccer, yay, tennis, the original Donkey Kong, the original Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, that game sucks, Dr. Mario, the original Zelda, and of course the God Mario 3, based Mario 3. That's only what 10 of the games that are supposed to be on here. So at some point they're gonna announce the remaining 10, and then like I assume that this is just speculation, by the way. I assume that probably like every other month they'll either add more games to that existing console or they'll add like another console with another 20 games on it. For example, like say in October, now you can play Super Nintendo games, and here's 20 of those. Something like that. But I think that's interesting. I mean, I've rebought so many of these games on various platforms. I don't. It depends on what those games are to me for me to actually care about them. But I think the concept is interesting for the most part. And plus, it's on the Switch, which I think is probably the biggest draw. So I can take these games wherever I want. I think that's the biggest draw, honestly. But we'll see how it goes. What else is there? There's a save data cloud, so congrats Nintendo for jumping to 2010. I mean, like PlayStation and three and Xbox have had cloud saves for a while now, but glad you guys are finally on the bandwagon. There's gonna be a smartphone app. That's good. I mean, like I don't know how often I would check it, and it depends on what's on it, but that's cool too. And there's special offers, of course, which Nintendo's always been really good about that, so I can't really complain on that aspect. But who knows how that's gonna go? That's gonna launch in September, but I'm pretty sure at E3, which is in like 6 weeks now. I'm going to E3 this year, which this is my first E3 ever, so I'm really nervous. So I'm excited, but I'm nervous at the same time because like I have to fly out there, and a bunch of my friends are coming with me, and I've never been there before, and I've never been to LA before. I've only been to the West Coast maybe 2 or 3 times, and the times I didn't go to Los Angeles. So this should be interesting. So hopefully I'll find out more about that stuff there. Like I also know that Square Enix is gonna have they're having their conference is gonna be on that Monday. Unfortunately, I won't get there until Tuesday morning, so I'll have to find out via osmosis or basically via Twitter what's going on with that. So that should be interesting. Like people are expecting news on Kingdom Hearts 3 and or Final Fantasy 7 remake. Kingdom Hearts 3 is whatever to me, honestly. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan. I was never really that game was never really a draw to me. I watched somebody play the first game and I played all of part 2 myself. Like 100% of Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's just like this. I like the gameplay. I just don't like the original characters. I like the Disney characters and I like the SquareSoft / Square Enix characters, but it's just like Sora, Kairi, and Riku were just bland, boring milk toast characters to me. Like they're literally nothing to me. But it's just like I don't know. I might give this game a chance anyway. I'll odds are either Julian or Mark, my friends / co-streamers, will my friends who I stream with constantly. Though one of them will most likely buy it. Most likely Mark, because he's the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan of the three of us. So I'm pretty sure I'll end up playing it anyway. But let me digress. Let's play some more music. Some relaxing, chill game music, which is the theme of today's episode. I'm gonna play one of my favorite tracks of all time by Koji Kondo. The Light Plane theme from Pilotwings. If you recall from a month or 2 months ago now, on episode 10, I played the Smash Brothers for Wii U remix of that song, which is also really awesome. I'm going to play the original version from Pilotwings on SNES, Light Plane, and then followed by the credit theme from Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, which is Moving On by a rapper named Infinite, who I've never heard of before or after this game, so I'm pretty sure he got hired specifically for this game, unless somebody knows him. That'd be really cool if, like, maybe link me to his Twitter or something if he's still around, you know what I mean? Like, this game did come out in 99, so I don't know. Yeah. Light Plane from Pilotwings, and then followed by Moving On, which is the ending theme for Third Strike.
village, a dark world with street soldiers, thugs and gangbangers. Just like we showed you that last part of your life, but now it's changed to the newer era. Sick, even more colder than whatever. Yo, it's time I moved on. I put my title up. Everybody got defeated. It's time you hung it up. Optional. The level you on, you better settle. This would have been the closest you got to the medal. If you plan to start from scratch, you gotta fight your way up. It's all about the victory and who's getting ate up. Survivors are always labeled the fittest. That's why you couldn't win this. I'm the living legend, veteran in this. My first priority got dealt with successfully. Nothing more to prove in my corner, no more testing me. I finished all my missions. You tell me who the best could be. Capcom and Lockdown, Infinite is Street Fighter 3. Yo, I moved on. Now my life is much better. On to bigger things, but we hustle forever. We cut your life short. Plus you thought you was clever. It's all about the family. We staying silent forever. Yo, I moved on. Now my life is much better. Now we on some bigger things, but we hustle forever. We cut your life short. Plus you thought you was clever. It's all about the family. We staying silent forever. Third chapter. Third strike. Third word. It's all about infinite. Change. No doubt. No doubt. Straight about it. We moved on. Forever. The hustle. Yo, light winds in a dead world like no existence. Like a raft that storm, wiping it calm. Strong force like population across town or olive. I survived as a street soldier and stayed solid forever. Cause of that, now my life is much better. This is making history, the age will tell you much better. Who's best in the challenge could really blow up your spot. Mix a little Capcom with T.O. what you got. An unbelievable force, too much power to try to get into. Catch us on the never secrets, a little more to do. You try to pick the evilest to try to bring me down, but I got Almighty one on my side holding it down. It's time I moved on, bigger things, bigger contenders. Get this paper from winning matches and money spenders. Motion picture type, so what's it gon' be? You're tuned in the new world of Street Fighter 3. So I moved on, now my life is much better. On to bigger things, but we hustle forever. We cut your life short. Plus you thought you was clever. It's all about the family. We staying silent forever. Yo, I moved on. Now my life is much better. Now we on some bigger things, but we hustle forever. I cut your life short. Plus you thought you was clever. It's all about the family. We staying silent forever. Yeah. Break it down. Break it down now. For real. Yeah. Street soldiers. Almighty one. Y'all got it. DC. Yeah. Sweats there. Rats there. West side. East side. South side. North side. Yeah. Face true. Yeah. East true. Yeah. No doubt. Third strike. Chapter. Third verse. See, moved on. Hustling. Forever. Inside. Out in the Rex village, a dark world with street soldiers, thugs and gangbangers. Just like we showed you that last part of your life, but now it's changed to the newer era. Sick, even more colder than whatever. Yo, it's time I moved on. I put my title up. Everybody got defeated. It's time you hung it up. Optional. The level you on, you better settle. This would have been the closest you got to the medal. If you plan to start from scratch, you gotta fight your way up. It's all about the victory and who's getting ate up. Survivors are always labeled the fittest. That's why you couldn't win this. I'm the living legend, veteran in this. My first priority got dealt with.
Shout out to Infinite, wherever he is. Whatever he's doing. See if somebody can get him back to like do a revival track. Or do a remix to Moving On or something. I'm just legitimately curious as to what he's doing now. Like that was like what? That was 99, so that was more than a decade ago. But anyway, what I'm curious as to this is a question for the listeners. What games are you guys looking forward to? Because there's a few that I'm looking forward to. There's not a lot, because there's a lot of games that I still haven't played that came out last year that I'm still like working my way through my backlog to get to. Like, I still haven't played Yakuza 0. I'm really, really, really want to play that in order to get to like 6. But I have Yakuza 0 and Kiwami on my PS4 hard drive, but I just haven't started them yet because, as I said before, I have so many other games I need to get through. I'm excited for... To be honest, I wasn't at first, but the more I'm looking at that Insomniac Spider-Man game, that looks really cool. And I'm kind of a big Spider-Man guy. Like, I'm a Spider-Man fan, so... And there hasn't been arguably a really, really solid Spider-Man game since this. Everyone talks about the Spider-Man 2 movie game that came out during the PS2, GameCube, OG Xbox era. But there have been a couple other good games. I heard Shattered Dimensions was really good, and there was a couple other ones, but there's so many that came out. Two of my personal favorite Spider-Man games were the 2 beat 'em ups that came out during the SNES and the Genesis era. Like, I really liked Maximum Carnage and Separation Anxiety. I thought those games were fun. And they're basic in execution, but they're just like, play Spider-Man, pick Venom, and you just or do in Separation Anxiety you can do co-op. You couldn't do that in Maximum Carnage, unfortunately, but just go around and beat the shit out of dudes. I thought that was great. I want more games like that. I would love a new Spider-Man beat 'em up, or better yet, a Marvel or an MCU based Warriors game. That'd be super sick. I mean, I know a lot of you guys out there don't like the Warriors games, but I love the Muso games. I think they're super fun. But I mean, granted that to a degree they're brainless, but I love them anyway. It's in my opinion, they've always been the natural evolution of those beat 'em up anyway, but a lot of people don't agree with that. What else is coming out? Speaking of which, Warriors Orochi 4 got confirmed for North America, like it's coming over here. Japan has got a release date of sometime this summer, which means it's probably not going to come out here until probably November, December-ish, maybe even early next year. Who knows? It's going to be further out from the Japanese release, that's for sure. Dragon Quest XI, oh, it looks so good. I can't wait for that either. I've never played okay, that's partially a lie. I've played a bit of Dragon Quest VIII, but that was my only real exposure to playing an actual Dragon Quest game. I kind of fell in love with the Dragon Quest games, going back to the Warriors thing again. I played through all of Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 on PS4. I absolutely adore those games. They're super fun too. But then again, it's the Muso formula again, but it's just with those games you can switch. You can have up to 4 characters, and I think that's really cool. And you can tag between them. I think that's dope. Let's talk about some games that are closer. That aren't in release. That aren't going to be released in fall. Let's talk about Mario Tennis Aces. Looks pretty interesting because I'm kind of a huge Mario Tennis fan. Well, I've only here's the truth about that. I've only really played Mario Power Tennis, which is the GameCube Mario Tennis, which is I think that's one of my favorite. That's by far one of my favorite GameCube games of all time. It's really fun. I'm normally not even big into the Mario sports stuff, but specifically that Mario Power Tennis on the GameCube, that was just executed really well. It was really fun, and each character was unique, and everybody had their own power up offensive and defensive shots. It was really fun, super super good. And it was so good that they even re-released it on the Wii with Wiimote controls, which I didn't play that one because I didn't want to play with Wiimote controls. But then Ultra Smash, which is the one that came out on the Wii U, that one came out and it sucked. I'm just gonna be honest. It was trash. They took all the personalized shots away, and they took all the unique courts you could play on instead of like Donkey Kong had the the Congo jungle court, and like Luigi had the Luigi's Mansion court, and Mario had the Delfino Isle court, and all of these super unique like colorful courts, and it's just like no, it's just grass court, clay court. It's just like a normal tennis game, and then like all the personalized like power shots were taken away, and it just had nothing. And it was like the online wasn't very good, but like Aces actually had a like from going by the directors like actually like in-depth techniques you can do in the game, and like the certain rackets have more durability, so rackets can break now, and it's the perfect balance between realistic tennis and goofy cartoony Mario tennis. Like this looks like it's going to be really good. It looks like it may be the best Mario Tennis game, but then again, I haven't played it yet, so we'll see. It comes out the week after E3, I believe, so naturally, I'm excited about that. Like, what else is there? Fighting EX Layer comes out in June as well, supposedly. I played the beta for that game. That's Arika's new foray into the same fighting games that they released back in the day, the Street Fighter EX games, but since they don't work with Capcom anymore, they're just kind of doing their own thing. They just kind of they just kind of disappeared for a while, but the crazy part about that is that they came out with one game after the Street Fighter EX games, which was just called Fighting Layer, which had some of their characters that appeared in Street Fighter EX, but like they intertwined with a lot of the Street Fighter characters. Like, as much as I like Alan Snyder as a character, he is a lot like Ken. Not completely, but like maybe appearance wise, he's Ken, but instead of blonde, he's a redhead. He has mutton chomps. But other than that, like a lot of the other Arctic characters are super unique, and I'm kind of glad they're getting their own game now. When I played of the beta, it seems really busted and broken. but I believe the developer said that he had no plans of making the game super competitive, so that's fine, I guess. As long as it's fun and it plays, and it like there's some sort of semblance to the mechanics, like I'll be okay with it. That's fine with me. That's all I can think of games that are coming out right now. While I think of more games to talk about, or just things to talk about in general, let's play 3 more songs. I'm gonna play by far one of the most chill tracks I've ever heard in a video game is "In the Bar" from Streets of Rage 2. Just literally the bar stage, specifically the slow version. I like the slow version a lot more than the fast version. That's gonna be followed by Mother Earth, which is the forest stage from Phantasy Star Online. PSO in general just has amazing music, so like that Sonic Team just like killed it in the soundtrack department. Like all those songs are good. Like I can literally just have an episode where I just talk about PSO music all day. And thirdly, more Street Fighter music. Specifically, this one is from Street Fighter EX plus Alpha, which is the one before EX2. I'm gonna play the results music from like there's an extra mode where you can do like trials and stuff, like combo trials, and then the music that I'm gonna play for that is literally the results I have to do finish. So, "In the Bar" from Streets of Rage 2, followed by Mother Earth from Phantasy Star Online, and finally the results music from Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. Yay. Man, Shinji Hosoe kills it on every track that he composes, like all of them. Like he hasn't even been, well, I guess for now he's been composing for pretty long since he started like in the late 90s, but every song I've heard of his is just always immaculate, just always super good. Like Street Fighter EX and Naruto, Gekto Ninja Tyson games on GameCube, all of them just like all of his music has just been awesome. And he's done a couple songs on the Ridge Racer games and a lot of games that never came out in America, but I definitely recommend looking him up. Like a lot of his music, he's one of my favorite composers, like video game composers, like period, of all time. And like during the like while I was playing the music, I was thinking about like another question I could ask the listeners, you guys. What games do you feel like have the most chill music in them? Like the most like laid back, like easy listening type of tracks in, like just stuff you can like zone out to literally. Um, there was some songs that I played in previous episodes of the podcast that I could have added to this list, but like I said, I played them already. Like Persona, like the Persona series, like specifically 3 through 5. All of them have a lot of really relaxed, chill music. Like I would have loved to have played some Persona, specifically 3 and 4 songs. Well, 5 too, but like mostly 3 and 4. Like a lot of them have like those OSTs are just. I'd say like 70% of the songs in those games are like really like laid back music, stuff like that. Like really well done stuff. Like some of the early like another franchise that has a lot of like really laid back music in it is some of the early Tekken games have like really chill music in them. Like it's especially like 3, 4, and 5. All, like again with those numbers. So Tekken's 3, 4, and 5, like and 2. 2 has some really like chill music in it too. A lot of that stuff is like really well done. Like I'm actually scrolling through a lot of like the playlists from previous episodes just to like have points of reference here. Like let's look at episode 3 had some stuff. Maybe had some stuff. Well, as I was talking about before, Fantasy Star Online has a lot of like chill music in it. In fact, I talked about in a previous episode, like early on, that I liked how a lot of either action games, action RPGs, or MMORPGs have this thing. Some of them, not all of them, do this, but like some of them have a kind of a aesthetic going where they'll have 2 versions of the same song. One will be like the normal exploring the area music, and then when enemies show up, there's a battle version of the theme. Fire Emblem does this too. And I think that's really cool. There's a few Fire Emblem songs I could have added to this list now that I think about it, but it didn't occur to me at that time. But Fire Emblem has a lot of like really aesthetically pleasing, just like really relaxed songs as well. What else? Shinobi. The PS2 Shinobi has had a couple of like easygoing songs in it that I recall. Like the Shinobi PS2 soundtrack is also really well done too. There's not a lot of chill music in that game, but like just overall that's a good soundtrack too. I recommend anyone to listen to that one. Specific like Revenge of Shinobi's good because it's Yuzo Kushiro, the god, you know. Revenge of Shinobi and Shinobi 3, but I definitely recommend the PS2 one. I don't know the name of the composer for that one, but like it's super good. I like it a lot. I think it might be one of my favorite PS2 soundtrack like OSTs, honestly. I could have chosen some stuff from the Tale series too. Like there's a lot of specifically Vesperia has some really nice music, nice atmospheric music. Same thing with Zillia. Zillia has some good stuff. And I can't remember, as much as I like Abyss, I can't remember a lot of music from Abyss. Let's see, Crash Bandicoot there's like 2 or 3 Crash tracks that are like really cool. for that aspect. Honestly, I could have just chosen. I did this already for a previous episode where I did mostly a lot of SNK and Capcom music. Uh, it was a Capcom versus SNK themed episode, so to speak. But like I did like 30 tracks that episode. That was a long episode, but it was a lot of Capcom and SNK fighting games from the early to mid '90s, and then some early 2000s stuff. A lot of those soundtracks have some really like underrated like chill songs in them that not a lot of people even know about because they're either like credit songs or they're ending songs, things like that. Like Alpha 2 had a lot of really good chill tracks in it. In fact, I might play a couple of those at the end of the episode because like Alpha 2 actually had 3 different ending songs, like 3 different like staff roll songs. And all of them are really good. I think I might just try to squeeze them in at the end of the episode, depending on how long this goes. But while I think of more or think of another subject to talk about, I'm gonna play 3 more songs. All these are actually from 16-bit or 8-bit eras. Like I know a lot of people despise this game, despite the fact that it's not a terrible game. It's just a weird educational game. Mario is Missing has one, like specifically the SNES version, because like there's 2 versions of that soundtrack. There's the SNES and, there's 3 actually. Mario is Missing has 3 different OSTs. There's the NES version as one. Then there's the SNES version, which is the one I'm most familiar with because I played that one the most. And there's also, and I found out recently that the PC version has a different soundtrack from those 2, which is really weird. But I like the SNES soundtrack, surprisingly, and then each country or just city in a specific country has a different theme. Like the New York theme is probably the most relaxed theme I've ever heard in not only in a Mario game, but in an educational game for that matter. The next song is from Super Mario RPG. There's another god or goddess in this case of game composing did the song I'm about to play. The song is called "The Road is Full of Dangers." It's one of the early songs you hear in Super Mario RPG. It's done by Yoko Shimomura, who is amazing at everything she does too. She does a lot of JRPG music, and some of my friends would say F her JRPG music. She composed Guile's theme from Street Fighter. Yeah, she did some songs from Street Fighter that are pretty iconic too, but that's not all she's done. You know, she has a really long track record of songs. Like she's great. And thirdly is Stage 1 from Double Dragon 2, which is an 8-bit song. I don't know the composer for that game or any of the Double Dragons for that matter, except for Neon, where the composer was Jake Kaufman, who's also another really good one of my favorite composers as well. But he's more contemporary. He's not an old school guy. He's like, I mean, if you listen to his music, it seems like he was from that era. But like, he obviously grew up with those games. But I don't know who did the compositions for Double Dragon 2 Stage 1. But it's a really chill song considering you're beating up thugs to that song. But I'm gonna play those 3. The New York stage from Mario is Missing. The Road is Full of Dangers from Super Mario RPG, and Stage 1 from Double Dragon. Right here, right now. during the break, I realized I forgot one soundtrack or set of soundtracks that have an immense amount of atmospheric music. The Metroid Prime trilogy. All those songs. Oh man, like if I had to put like one franchise into some of the greatest music, like relaxed music in video games, Metroid Prime would be one of those franchises that just has just solid, chill music in it. Same thing with another one I forgot. The 3D Sonic games have really like laid back music too. I'm kind of mad I didn't include a lot of them in here. I might just add some at the end as bonus tracks, to be honest. And it's the Mega Man 2, not Mega Man 2, but Mega Man also. There's a lot of Mega Man music that's really laid back too. Like, I'm just kind of upset with myself that I didn't include these in the original track list. Which means that I'm probably gonna end up doing either a chill songs like second episode, like a part 2, or just another one later down the line. But like, there's so many that I could have included that I'm probably gonna include at the end of the episode. But yeah, there's so many. Like, there's some. I'm gonna edit this out. So many chill game songs. I might just jump to the next set of songs, but I'm actually still looking at my previous episodes just to find out if I didn't mention any or I failed to mention some. Like, I don't really play this game, but I've heard some of the music from it. Splatoon 2 has some really good music in it too. Like, just the Splatoon franchise in general has some really good, cool atmospheric songs in it. Same thing with a lot of the still going on the Nintendo train here. A lot of Mario Kart music is really good for that aspect too. From not so much 64, but I feel like from GameCube, Wii, and I never played 7. Well, did play 7, but I never heard the music from 7. But 8. I could do an entire episode on Mario Kart 8's soundtrack. Like any game, Nintendo game that has the Super Mario Orchestra. Any game that has them on the soundtrack is just undoubtedly phenomenal. Like, I think the first game they worked on, like they composed music for, was Mario Galaxy 1, and that soundtrack's amazing. It's probably one of the best soundtracks on the Wii, if not the best one. I can't really think of any other ones other than Metroid Prime 3. But Metroid Prime 3 isn't nearly, that soundtrack isn't nearly as good as Galaxy 1's. And I think, was Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 the only 3D Mario games on the Wii? Yeah, that was it. And I don't count New Super Mario Brothers because that wasn't a 3D game. It was a 2D game. And it's trash. No offense to anyone who likes those. But they're just... I normally I don't quote a lot of people on here, but I especially hate to quote Aaron Hansen, aka Eagle Raptor, but he said the New Super Mario Brothers games are soulless, and I can't really disagree with that. Like, there's not a lot to those games. It's just like, it took the essence of, like, it tried to, well, I can't say that because they sold really well. I'm just not a fan of them. It just feels like shallow Mario 1 or shallow Mario 3. It's just like, is that again, but with like no pizzazz and no flair. And it doesn't feel new. See, like, the difference is with Sonic Mania, with what they did. Well, first of all, Sonic team didn't work on it. It was a fan project team. But Sonic Mania felt new, but yet it still felt familiar to akin to Sonic 2 and 3. The New Super Mario Brothers games don't feel new. They just feel like, I don't want to say rehashed, but they just feel like no effort was put into them to make them feel fresh. It's just like poop out some 2.5D sprites, have them dance to the music, which I think is the stupidest thing ever. I mean, like, that's just another rant in itself, but I really don't like, there's like musical stings in that game, in those games, and then like the baddies, like the Goombas and the Koopa Troopers will dance to them. Like, that's stupid. I hate that. I mean, I guess it was a cool thing at first, but like the more I saw it and the more games that came out from that franchise, I got tired of it really fast. Do not like those. I really need to listen to more Final Fantasy music because I know a lot of them have really, really nice, somber, chill music. The ones I can think of offhand are 7, obviously, 8, 10, and I think some songs from 13 have not, like, well, obviously, 6. 6 has some great music too. Well, 6 has the orchestra song, which is just, I could have an entire episode of the sound test that talks about that. Just the orchestra scene in Final Fantasy 6, which is amazing. But I need to play more of them. Oh yeah, and Final Fantasy Tactics has good music too. Obviously, I need to have a Final Fantasy episode. That's what it sounds like right now. I need to have a Final Fantasy or just a SquareSoft / Square Enix themed episode. I think that's what needs to happen. For sure. That'll happen down the line, absolutely. Kenji Yamamoto, he's the guy who did... This is a very random and sporadic episode, by the way. This is a very stream of consciousness episode. Mainly because this episode was supposed to come out I was supposed to record this back in April. This was supposed to be the April episode, but there was no April episode because of classes and work and just editing all these videos and playing so many games. I'm bad at time management. That's the secret. That's why this didn't come out when it was supposed to. But I feel like I'm gonna have to do like maybe an RPG centric episode of the sound test where I play nothing but RPG songs. So give it the same treatment I gave fighting games from the 90s. And there's a couple of I know the Tim Follin episode was something I enjoyed doing, but that one has like the least amount of likes on my SoundCloud. So obviously, a lot of you guys didn't want to hear nothing but Tim Follin music, even though I enjoyed it. But maybe I might do more solo composer playlists. I'm thinking about doing a Kenji Yamamoto, guy who did Metroid Prime and Donkey Kong Returns, and he's mostly known for Nintendo Metroid music specifically, but he's done a lot of other stuff recently for Nintendo. I could do a Shinji Hosoe episode, even though because that's easy because he's like one of my favorite composers. Same thing with like Koji. I can do a Koji Kondo episode. I could do a Yuzo Koshiro episode. I could do a David Wise episode. And Jake Kaufman episode too. These are just ones down the line. I might have him throw out another poll on the Facebook, which is facebook.com/Chazmosis Jones, or the Otaku Gamer Spot Facebook, which is facebook.com/OTAKUGAMERSPOT. I might do that just to see what you guys want to hear from any of those type of themes, because I don't mind doing the normal just string of random songs that I like, but I think the themes are interesting, but if you guys don't want to hear the themes, that's fine. I'll workshop that in a little while, but let's play 3 more songs. We're near the end now, but I might end up throwing a couple of bonus tracks at the end, because like I said, I feel like there's some that deserve to be on this list that aren't there. But I'm gonna play, I believe the song is called Into the Mellow from Sonic Adventure 2. It's one of the Knuckles themes, but I think the Knuckles themes are the best songs in Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah, that's right. Suck it, City Escape fans. No offense, but this is like City Escape is fine. I didn't like it when the game first came out, but then I heard the remix of it in Sonic Generations, and I really enjoyed that, and it made the song tolerable. Now I can actually listen to it without being annoyed. I think it's just the people who obsessed over that song just kind of got on my nerves. The song itself is just kind of okay. It's just average, but I think the people who obsessed over that song just made me not like it as much. But yeah, Into the Mellow, which is my favorite of the Knuckles themes from Sonic Adventure 2, and then I'm going to play another Phantasy Star Online song, specifically the Create a Character theme, which is called Image of Hero. Not a hero, but Image of Hero. It's Japanese. And I'm going to do something for the first time on here. I'm going to play an OC remix. I don't do those very often. But the OC remixer named Zircon, he did a remix of Image of Hero, which I think is also phenomenal. It's really good, if not better than the original, which I know is heresy for some people who are like, game remixers can't do better songs than the original composers. But I really like his remix of the song. I forget what it's called. I believe it's called Raggle Weather, which is Raggles or some enemies from Phantasy Star Online. But his version of Image of Hero is fantastic. So I'm gonna play three Sega songs in a row, two of which are from the same console generation. I'm gonna play Into the Mellow from Sonic Adventure 2, and then Image of Hero, the original version from Phantasy Star Online, and then the Zircon remix of that same song. Let me know what you guys think is the better version of the song after Knuckles spits some cool jams. Oh, okay, before I play that, it's not. It's a weird, stupid nerd fact. Wait a minute, never mind. What I was gonna say is the rapper who wrote the lyrics for that song is Hunid P. His name is Hunid P. HUNNID-P. I was gonna say that he's the same person who voices Parappa the Rapper, but that's Marlon Sanders, who did the rap for Knuckles' theme in Sonic Adventure 1. So I caught myself before I made that mistake, and before all the listeners destroy me in the comments. So take that. I caught myself. I realized I was wrong. But here's some music.
Your boy Knuckles, and this is Aquatic Mind. I'm on it, y'all. Let's take a dive in Aquatic Mind. Once was a cold pit, but now it's a water ride. Makes you wanna sit back, enjoy the life, and do things you like doing, get to shine. It's sure bees fighting with them foes all the time, but I gotta do it, they always stay out of line. Sometimes I wanna just chill and land, but I'm the protector of the emeralds and gems. I stay knuckled up, I'm in a deep cut. I'm seeing skulls that burn, they tryna cut me off. Avoiding my luck, I'm feeling kinda stuck. I'm in narrow hallways, running like it's a ball game. Hand tracks be tracking me to different doorways. In a maze, and I don't know what to do. Guaranteed though, I'ma find the emeralds. Don't call me Knuckles for nothing, I can't lose. Sure bees fighting with them foes all the time, but I gotta do it, they always stay out of line. Sometimes I wanna just chill and land, but I'm the protector of the emeralds and gems. Stay knuckled up in a deep cut. I'm seeing skulls that burn, they tryna throw me off. Avoiding my luck, I'm feeling kinda stuck. Don't call me Knuckles, give me a box. aquatic mind. Once was a cold pit, but now it's a water ride. Makes you wanna sit back, enjoy the life, and do things you like doing, get to shine. It's your bees fighting with them foes all the time, but I gotta do it, they always stay out of line. Sometimes I wanna just chill and land, but I'm the protector of the emeralds and gems. I stay knuckled up, I'm in a deep cut. I'm seeing skulls that burn, they tryna cut me off. Avoiding my luck, I'm feeling kinda stuck. I'm in narrow hallways, running like it's a ball game. Hand tracks be tracking me to different doorways. In a maze, and I don't know what to do. Guaranteed though, I'ma find the emeralds. Don't call me Knuckles for nothing, I can't lose. Sure bees fighting with them foes all the time, but I gotta do it, they always stay out of line. Sometimes I wanna just chill and land, but I'm the protector of the emeralds and gems. Stay knuckled up in a deep cut. I'm seeing skulls that burn, they tryna throw me off. Avoiding my luck, I'm feeling kinda stuck. Don't call me Knuckles, give me your box.
offense to Sonic Team, but Zircon took your song and killed it. Like, I like Image of Hero, the original song, but I think the Zircon remix is better. It's just like it has the PSO vibe, and it feels more like, I feel like the Zircon remix is what should be in the game, but it's just like, you know, it's at the end of the day it's still a remix, but it's just like, wow, it feels like it fits way better in PSO than the original song does. But anyway, we're near the end now, and one last question to ask the listeners. We spent the entire episode talking about good game soundtracks, and which good game has a lot of chill music in it. What games do you feel were good games but had really shitty soundtracks? Like, for example, on my stream, twitch.tv/Chazmosis, my friends and I played Final Fights 1 and 2 about a few weeks ago, and those songs, well, specifically the songs in Final Fight 1, a lot of them get remixed and used for future Street Fighter games, or just get remixed a lot in general for future games, in future Capcom games. Despite that, I feel like Final Fight 1's music is not very good. Like, just the original compositions of a lot of those songs are just kind of blah. And they aren't very memorable. Like, they're arrangements that are used in, like, Street Fighter games or any other later Final Fight installments. They're more iconic there than they are in the original game that they came from. And Final Fight 2 and 3's music is just kind of forgettable. Like, 2's, I don't remember any songs from Final Fight 2. And I just this is a kind of running joke with me and my friends that, like, they know that I don't like Final Fight 3's music. It's not even that the music's bad, it's just there's only like about, I don't remember, like 8 stages in the game, but there's only like 3 songs in the entire game. So like whoever composed that soundtrack I feel like they didn't try at all. Like, another one, at least this is my opinion, this is a hot take right here. I like Yuzo Kushiro. He's an amazing composer. He's one of my favorites of all time. But I don't think Streets of Rage 3 had a good soundtrack. I know I'm going to offend a lot of people with that. Specifically my friend Julian, he's a big, big fan of Streets of Rage 3 having the best soundtrack of that trilogy. But, like, man, a lot of it's just, like, noise and trash and crap. It's like some shitty trance album. It's just like, it's not good. Streets of Rage 2 has the best soundtrack of those 3. But, like, he really likes 3, and I don't think anyone else does. I definitely don't like the soundtrack of Streets of Rage 3. There's, like, 2 songs in that game that I think are good out of, like, the 20 that are in the game. I was just like, ugh. I don't know what Yuzo Koshiro was on when he composed the 3rd one, but, like, nah, that wasn't it, man. And what other bad soundtracks? Oh, there's another one. Any King of Fighters game that's not the arranged version of the AST, but the OSTs of a lot of the early arcade ones, like basically 94 through like 2003. If it's not the arranged version, I don't really particularly want to hear it. Like, a lot of them aren't very good. And it's not even that the fact that it's the Neo Geo's limitations are bad. Like, just those specific to those original arrangements aren't very good. Like, I like Samurai Showdown's original arrangements. I mean, granted, the arrangements are obviously better, but the original compositions of a lot of the Samurai Showdown songs are really good, actually. At least I think so. But, like, the King of Fighters one's just like, it's not that I have to hear it arranged, but I would prefer to. It's just like, that, I don't know what that soundboard is or whatever those guys do to compose all the Neo Geo music, but it's just like, it can be limiting. It's limited. It's like NES. It's like NES 8-bit style music. It's just like there's only so much you can do, and some people make it work, and other people don't. Other people don't. Like Mark of the Wolves. I think that has an amazing original soundtrack. I like that and the arranged. I think I like that's for Garo. I think it's the opposite. I like Mark of the Wolves' original soundtrack more than the arranged one because it's just like whatever they did with that soundtrack, it just works. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I'm trying to think of some. Are there any bad Sonic OSTs any Sonic OSTs do I think are bad? I haven't heard as much as like a lot of Sonic games are mediocre in the gameplay and in concept. I don't think there is a bad Sonic OST. Like Sonic almost consistently has good soundtracks, even if the game isn't good. Like I can say the same thing with Mario as well. I can't think of any bad Mario soundtracks. The worst I would give a Mario soundtrack is probably just all right and not like amazing or excellent. But I think there's I was gonna say Mega Man maybe. No, there's a couple of bad Mega Man OSTs. Like people shit on 7's OST, but I actually like Mega Man 7 soundtrack. I'm thinking about like some of those Game Boy only Mega Man games, like the Mega Man 1 Game Boy or Mega Man 2 Game Boy, like, not feeling those at all. Now, the Game Boy Advance ones, those are awesome. Like, I need to be more specific. There's like 3 different franchises on GBA for Mega Man. The Battle Network games have really good music in them. I think those are like, definitely standouts. And I haven't played a lot of the Mega Man Zero games. In fact, I've only played one. There's 4 of them, and I've only played the first one. But I've heard like there's some Japan exclusive arranged soundtracks for like arranged remixes of a lot of those songs. I've heard them, and they're actually really, really, really good. I like those a lot. But speaking of Mega Man, like two of the last 3 songs are from one Mega Man game. Specifically, Rockman and Forte, aka Mega Man and Bass, which at the time I called Mega Man 9, but then an actual Mega Man 9 came out, so I can't call it that anymore, so I call it 8.5. It basically takes place after 8. Mega Man and Bass, the database music from that game, which is basically the menu where you look at all the characters' profiles and stuff. That song is really, really cool. I really like that. And again, there's an OC remix of it by an OC remixer named Joshua Morse. And I'm actually I'm a big fan of his compositions of Mega Man music as well. He does a lot of really good Mega Man remixes. And his remix of the database theme from that game is also really, really cool and really standing out. And Earthbound, a game that I'm going to play soon. I've never actually played it. It's like almost 25 years old now. But I've never actually played it until I'm going to play it now, like, soon. I'm actually going to waiting to finish the Secret of Mana remake before I start playing that as well. It's an experience because I've never actually played a Mother series game, so this is going to be my first hands-on experience with it. And I'll let you guys know in the next episode of the podcast how I feel about it, because hopefully I'll be playing it by then. But the song that I'm going to be playing from it is the Summer's theme, because in the game, from what I understand, each season has a different theme. I've heard the winter theme is okay, but I really like the summer theme, so that's going to be the last song of the night. So I'm going to play the database theme from Mega Man and Bass, and then the OC remix of said song by Joshua Morse, and then finally Summer's theme from Earthbound. Yeah. Man, I left out so many songs that I could have put on here that were chill songs from games. But this would have been like a 3-hour podcast if I had decided to put all the ones I could think of at the time. So I'm going to cut it short here. We're going to end it right here. Thanks for listening, and check me out at the main site, otakugamerspot.com. There's Let's Plays there, well, mostly. There'll be more alternate content outside of that there, but mostly it's Let's Plays right now. Follow me on Twitch when I go live every Sunday between 7 and 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/Chazmosis. Check me out on Facebook. Follow the Facebook at facebook.com/otakugamerspot, and you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Chazmosis410. And of course, there's the YouTube channel, youtube.com/CJBlogman, BLOGMAN. What am I playing right now? I'm playing Tales of Vesperia. I'm playing One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. There's my buddy Julian and I, we play bad fighting games every week. There are other things happening. There is a new Old Games Done Terribly coming up. And Julian, my buddy Julian again, and I will be playing more King of Fighters 95, because we didn't beat 94, but we're going to try 95 now. That's all coming up in this week and next week. And in June, I'll be at E3. You probably won't be able to recognize me because you won't hear my voice. But I'll be there, and I'll probably talk about stuff. I'll probably have a special podcast for that. I don't know. I'll see when it happens. But until next time, I will see you in the next podcast. Also, please feel free to give me a like and subscribe. Rate the thing. I'm on SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/Chazmosis410. That's probably where you're listening to this. If not iTunes, if not Google Play, because I'm on those two. Feel free to give me a rating. If you think this podcast is cool, say that's cool. If you think it sucks, I guess that's kind of cool too. Not really, but give your opinions. I like opinions. So I'm gonna play one last song to play us out. I'm gonna play a track from my boy Night Tempo called Candy. It's very anime, but I like it anyway. So I'll see you guys next time.
She
Thank you.